Hi there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thrive in Your Mission. So excited to be here with my co host, Elvira Hopper. This is our first one. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Tavia Sharp, and I'm a brand image strategist. And I help people really increase their visibility and their leadership, thought leadership, through having an image that stands out through the ABCDs. And we'll get into that a little bit more. But I'm based in New York City. Elvira and I met in another group of amazing coaches and leaders who really all about, uh, moving the collective forward. I'll say it that way. And Elvira and I did our first in-person retreat together, the Radiance Unleashed retreat. And we just know that there is just so many people out there that we want to serve and help thrive in their mission. So I'll let Elvira introduce herself and then we'll get into it a little bit more.
Awesome. Thank you, Tavia. It is such a joy and honor to work with you. You are just incredible. So grateful we met in the Dragonfly community led by Jonathan Carroll, and we're both in a Look Epidurize community, Haven. So I think that
Yes.
having good leadership, having good mentorship is so important because our inner work really, really matters, right? In terms of how far is your business going to go? If you don't have the inner game done, you can't do the outer game, right? Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We've learned it
We've
ourselves,
learned.
right?
We've learned a
Yes.
thing or two. So yeah,
Yes.
so I'm Elvira Hopper, and my team affectionately calls me Chief Miracle Magnet CMM, and so I basically lead this incredible global community of light and shadow workers, people that want to help humanity to feel, heal, and reveal who they truly are, right? Because we're all here to be bright, shiny stars, but our inner game isn't quite there. So they use the modality that saved my life at rock bottom, and they help others, and they can also put their own modality on my platform, which is really cool because we need everybody's story, message, and magic to help those struggling as we once did, right? So
Mhm.
I'm super excited that we help heart-centered humans on the planet become miracle magnets, and I'm Chief
Yes.
Miracle Magnet. So that's kind of what I do my one-on-one coaching, and I also work, my team does incredible small groups. So it's wonderful work. So I am so excited to be here today for our first edition of Thriving Your Mission. And so let's dive in,
Let's
Tavia.
dive in. The one other thing I want to say before we get started on our first topic today is that Elvira and I both have done a ton of personal development work. We actually both did a program, not in the same place because I'm in New York and she's in Canada, but a global organization that
Yeah,
really helps, push forward humanity. I will say it that way because that's what it's all about. It's a global organization that does personal professional development work. It's group coaching with amazing leaders, and they really help you do that inner work so that you can be that person in the world, because everybody's unique and everybody has something to offer, right? Nobody is here on like randomly. You actually,
yeah,
each
yeah,
person, I believe, and I know Elvira believes it too, you serve a purpose in the world. And the world needs you right now more than ever. I truly believe
oh,
that. We are going through a global shift
yeah,
and we feel it. We're in the thick of it. That's
yeah,
why it feels so chaotic, right? When I think Elvira agrees with me 100%. It feels chaotic. There's a lot going on, right? And we all are collectively feeling it. So we know that her and I together, we really want to help others to to really be able to thrive in their
yeah.
mission. And this is why we are, doing this, and we want to really be inspiring for you all to so if you just take something small, even one thing from what we share today, I know we're doing our purpose, right? So Anyway, I just
Love
wanted to
that.
throw that in there.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
that, Tavia. Yeah, you're such a beautiful leader, and I am so grateful we get to co-lead together. In my world, there's no such thing as competition. There's only collaboration and co-creation. You do your magic, I do my magic. Together, 1 + 1 is not two; it's 11 in my world. So I feel really, really privileged that we get to do this. And yeah, and my specific thing that really it made sense that we were brought together to help um, heal the wounds, and specifically the women wounds. That's something
Hmm.
that we're going to speak to, because if we're not healing those inner wounds, guess what? We're not going to show up effectively. We're not going to be visible in the world. We're going to hide in our little box. We're not going to use these beautiful brands that you do so well, Tavia. You help people brand themselves through styling and images, and all the beautiful stuff that you do. And I help them work on their inner work so that they can own their brand at the highest level globally, because we're all here to serve globally if we decide we want to, right? And
Yes.
we all have a different purpose. Some people's purposes are way out there, like Oprah Winfrey, and then other people's purposes are just to make a community better, or whatever, right? You
Hmm.
know your purpose when you've done your inner work, and you become this open vessel for the divine to use you in your purpose. And that's why
Mm,
the inner work matters so much, right? The inner work, inner
yes.
beauty leads to the outer beauty and outer success. So yeah.
Yes. Yes, it's so true. I think anybody who's gone through something and has come on the other side, they've come off it on the other side more empowered, just, more confident. And that's really what you're here to help other people do, whether you realize it yet or not. I do
Yeah,
believe that that's part of your mission here. And like Elvira said, you can use it in a small way in your local community, or you can use it in a global way, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh my
all
God,
is
chills.
welcome, right? All
Yeah,
is welcome.
yeah. We're all
And
needed. We're all needed.
we're
Yeah.
all needed. Doesn't matter how big or small.
Mhm.
And today we really want to talk about something that we know is just a conversation we've had with a lot of our clients, the people that we work with, and that's about that fear of visibility, right? And why is that so? Like, why do we fear being visible? I hear this so much from my clients, and I've
Yeah.
even struggled with it. In the beginning when I started my business, I didn't even use Facebook. I didn't even want to be on Facebook because I was so nervous about putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Like,
Me
what are people going to
too. I
say? What are
did it
people going to
too.
think?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, you get like in your head about it, or at least I did, and I do hear this from so many people. Even after we do their transformations, I work with people, I do style makeovers, and I help them do branding makeovers with their photo shoots and all, and they feel empowered. But even then, they're afraid to put those photos out there, and they look amazing, and they're still, I'm like, what? We took all these beautiful photos, where are they? And it's because they haven't done enough inner work. So this is why
Oh,
Elvira and I believe it's the together, that the combination
yes.
that's really going to serve. Because if I just do my thing, sometimes people still have that inner stuff going on and they can't move past it, and they're afraid to put themselves out there. And that's one of the things we're bringing up today, because it's a big one, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so true. And yeah, and what I've discovered, Tavia, is that yeah, the inner work is absolutely necessary to have the courage to be seen. Otherwise, you're just going to hide because you don't feel
Yeah.
worthy. You don't feel that you feel like you're going to be judged, right? Like, do you know what the one of the biggest fears, according to Mel Robbins? I learned this from her. She's amazing. If there's any Mel
Hmm.
Robbins fans, give me a whoop. I'm going to see her live in Toronto on May the 9th. My husband paid $500 to get me in. Talk about like really loving this
Love
woman,
it.
right? Anyway, but she says that one of the biggest fears that humanity has is the fear of judgment. People are
Yes.
afraid to be judged. It's like if they put these pictures out into the world, these beautiful new branded shots, like who am I, to be that beautiful, that shiny, right? So we hide our shine because we don't want to be judged, right? And then there's
Yes.
another thing. Another one of my mentors is one of yours, a look up a Durai. Shout out to him. He's got
Yeah.
this program that he just brought out, and if you haven't done it yet, Tavia, I so recommend it. I spent the weekend at a solo. I call it my sacred solo. What do I call it? My sacred solo retreat, a sacred soulful solo retreat. I did it this past weekend,
I love it.
and I spent virtually the whole time there going through a Look's program called the Mastery Path. So shout out to Look for this amazing series of videos that he's put together. He channeled all this content and he taught me a whole bunch of things. But one of the things that I want to mention is he talks about all these codes, all these principles that we need to learn because as humans, if we don't know these things, we're just going to stay down here. We're going to stay stuck and small. But if you know these things, you can grow, you can become who you're meant to be. And one of the things he talks about is the three lies. Okay. Do you know what the three lies are, Tavia? Have you gone through the program yet?
Not yet. So tell me what they are.
You need to go. The three lies.
Yeah.
I'm not worthy. I
Hmm.
am not, yeah, I'm not worthy. I am not, oh my God, what's the second one? I'm not worthy. I am not enough. And I am not loved. Those
Hmm.
are three lies. And so imagine everybody on the planet believes these three lies inside, even though they don't show it. And how are you going to show up? Are you going to be visible in your business if you actually believe those lies? So the
No.
inner work is crucial because you need to undo what you thought you were and connect to who you truly are. And as a look speaks to it, it's about brushing away all the rubble of who you were, because the world domesticated you to think you were a certain thing and you had to fit in this box. And now doing the inner work, you get to escape out of that box, right? You get to clean up
Yeah.
the rubble, right? Oh, it's just so juicy. And I am like right there doing the work every single day. Because if I wasn't doing this work every single day, I'd be dead. I'd be in a padded cell. I'd be, like in an alley with a bottle in my hand. My inner work saved my life. And so
Hmm.
I continue to do it every single day. And the system that you were speaking to, can we mention it? Can we say what it is, or do you want to leave it?
Go
The
ahead.
the
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Landmark education. God bless Landmark. It helped me on so many levels to
Hmm.
understand things about the human condition. Um, and yet, when I hit my rock bottom, where I was ready to die, that's part of my story. I wasn't meant to die. I was meant to evolve, to come out of that breakdown to the breakthrough of using my modality, which is the gentle rain soaks approach. Landmark is great, and it worked for me till it didn't. But oh my
Hmm.
God, I do recommend it to people because it could work for
Yeah.
them, right? So we all
Hmm.
need different things, and this is why we're all needed as light and shadow
Yes.
workers. You and I are both light and shadow workers, and
Hmm.
yeah. So what do you think about that, Tavia?
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. I do believe that we have these internal lies that we don't even realize that it's, what
Lies we
Elvira and
don't
I,
realize. Yeah, I
we
love
don't,
that. It
lies we don't
rhymes.
realize, lies
Yeah,
we don't
yes, yes.
realize.
I gotta write
And
that
guess
down.
what? Yeah, write it down. Our brains
Yes,
are meaning making machines. Our brains are
yes,
constantly, it's almost like a computer, and it's just constantly creating the meaning from something. So that's also a lie
yeah,
because
yeah,
you don't need to create meaning to something. And
yeah.
so, but it's a pattern. It's just like on autopilot, the brain. So we have to catch it. We have to actually
Consciously
become
catch it.
aware,
Yes,
consciously
yeah,
catch what's
yeah,
happening and say, wait, that's not true. And that
yes,
takes a lot of
yes,
work. Okay.
yes,
So, this is why we're bringing it up, because I'm sure, and hopefully it's resonating with you, that this might be something you're dealing with, especially when it comes to visibility, because you
yeah,
think like, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. Who am I?
yeah.
And this is where we get into the real truth. Elvira and I are about to drop something. This
Mm,
is where the women wounds come in. So,
Oh,
especially us females, okay, because I know my male clients also struggle with visibility. So I know that's, it's for everyone.
yeah,
However, specifically for female leaders, we know it really comes down to that women wound. And
yes,
the feminine wounds are strong, they are deeply rooted from past generational sometimes, and
yeah,
we don't even realize that this is the thing that's holding us back. So,
yeah.
whew, Elvira, we
Ooh,
know,
ooh,
we know
yes,
this is
you know it well.
we know it well. We have both dealt with it,
Yeah.
from a very young age. I have dealt with this, and
Mhm.
so many things throughout my life. And I know Elvira too. We have struggled with this specifically, and it
Yeah,
has held me back. Yes.
yeah,
And that
yeah,
fear of judgment is
yeah,
a strong one.
yeah.
Nobody wants to be rejected from community.
Oh,
That's a human feeling. I mean, it's just about being
yeah,
human. It's being in
yeah,
community. So if you feel you're going to be ousted from your community, that's a
yeah,
core thing, from being human, that you may not even realize is being triggered from this
yes,
feminine wounding. Because females, it's about gathering, it's about being
yeah,
together in community. If you feel that you feel like somebody's going to judge you or reject you, or hurt you or stab you
yeah,
in the back,
yeah,
we are going to avoid at all costs, because
yeah,
our body and our brain wants to keep us safe, right? So we're
yes,
going to avoid because we want to be safe, right? And
yeah.
we don't even realize this is happening, I think, a lot of times, right?
Oh, oh, yeah. It's such heavy energy as you're talking. I so feel that in my body, because I've gone through
Hmm.
so much. And yet I had to go through that to become, I consider myself a global authority on this. I think we're both
Hmm.
global authorities now that we've partnered. The women wounds is, the mother wound, the sister
Hmm.
wound, the witch wound, and what I've tagged, or I don't know if it's a thing. I know I call it this, the mean girl wound. That's
Yeah.
basically the sister wound that happens when women band together against a common
Yes.
enemy. And it happens a lot.
Hmm.
I've experienced it on, many occasions. And yet it's exactly what I was meant to experience, because I'm meant to become an authority to help other women get out of it. And men have women
Yes.
wounds too, right? They've got the
Yes.
mother wound, they've got the partner wound, they've got, there's different wounds that they have as well, that,
Hmm.
keep them small too, because they're afraid, like, am I going to do the wrong thing? And is she going
Yes.
to love me? Is she going to appreciate me? Right? Like, my dad had huge women wounds, right? He had, mother issues up the yin yang, right? And she had 7 kids, God bless my grandmother. And my father was very sensitive. And I remember, he just wanted to be loved by her, and he did whatever she told him to do. And the poor guy, he was this incredible singer. He could sing better than Pavarotti, but she told him that you need to take care of your family. You can't be on a stage. And he wasn't allowed to become fully self-expressed.
Mm-hmm.
He sadly died with his real music in him. So this is what happens when we have these wounds. We play small, and we don't become what I call aligned, authentic, fully self-expressed. And then guess what? The world doesn't get our magic. And that's tragic. My father never
Yes.
recorded an album. I would love to have his music today, but I don't. And he
Hmm.
died with horrible diseases. And this is what happens when we live out of alignment and we're not fully ourselves.
Yeah.
Our body keeps score. Our body keeps
Yes.
score, and that's just the way it works. So we want to help, like, on so many levels. This inner work matters so much. and
Mhm. Yeah.
and I mean, I just go on and on, but I'll just drop it there. But the fun fact, if people don't know me, my father showed me what not to do, because I was able to
Yeah.
break free, and I became a pro jazz artist at 51. I am now multi-award winning jazz artist, even singing to Oprah Winfrey's Man. It's all on YouTube if you Google it, both our names. So it's like, this is what happens. We get to learn what we don't want so we can create what we do want. And for me,
Yes.
it was not playing my father's story again. For me, it was breaking out of that box. And but I struggle with it every day because of the women wounds, being
Hmm.
judged, you're too much, cutting down the tall poppy syndrome, it's called, where women want me to be a certain way so that they can be more comfortable, right? Has that happened to you,
Yes.
Tavia?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, that's a big one too. Like,
Yeah.
women, again, it's that judgment thing. I do think that there is something with females and that we quick to judge. And I believe that's generational, or even,
Yeah.
just been going on for centuries, and
Yeah.
it's been trickling down into our cells, right? And so we can stop the patterns here. That's why we're bringing it up, because
Yes.
we have the power to say, you know what, stop. that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not that. Where is that
Awareness is
coming
power.
from?
Yes.
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 Where is this story coming from, right? And why am I judging? If I do
Yeah.
it, I catch myself, because I
Yeah.
still do it. It's like a natural thing to do. When I
It
see
is.
somebody walking down the street, or I'm watching something on social media, I'm like, I can hear that judgy voice right away. I'm like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
It's hard,
Yeah.
because it's just so innate sometimes,
It's our
but we have the
conditioning.
power. It's the conditioning. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's why
Yeah.
we're bringing it up, because we know that if you see where it's coming from and you bring
Yeah.
awareness, we can stop it. And you also
Yes. Yes.
can stop your fear of being visible, because you're like, you know what, that's just a story. Because the right people, the people that need to hear you, that's who you need to
Yes.
show up for. You just
Exactly.
have to be strong enough to say, you know what, the naysayers are going to be the naysayers. And I know my message needs to be heard. So even
Yes.
if it's for one person, and you're
Yes.
doing a video or whatever you're doing that day, even if just one person is impacting, isn't it worth it? Isn't it
Yes.
worth it? Yes, it is, because you're a leader. And that's why
Yeah.
you're still listening to this, because you know that you're a leader and you're meant for
Yeah.
more. And that's why we're talking about this today. So if it resonates, we want to hear from you. Drop comments in the chat. We'd love to
Yeah.
hear from you. And this is the first of many. And this is literally the first episode, and Thrive in Your Mission. So we're going to be doing a whole series of these just for you. And so whatever you want, topics you want us to talk about, please drop it. We would love to hear from you. And,
Yeah.
we can create topics that you want to listen to. But we have so much to share just
Oh,
on this topic alone.
I'm
So
bursting. I'm bursting. There's so
it's a
much.
lot. So
This was
anyway, we'll wrap
great.
it. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
wrap it today. Thanks, Elvira. Until
Thank
next
you.
time, we'll see you soon.
Ah, we'll see you. Bye.
Bye.